You're listening to the What the Wrestling podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Oh, you already know what time it is. Damn it.
Perfect.
That is right. RJD here back with another edition of What the Wrestling. It is Thursday night, and you know what that means. Check out my socials. That's what that means. That's what that means. So,
You activated my trap card.
follow me, RJD. RJD10K on Instagram, RJ699 on Twitter, RJD199 on Snapchat. But most importantly, follow What the Wrestling on Facebook and YouTube. And Tick of the Talk. Also follow What the Wrestling on Spotify and Anchor. Enough of that. Let's talk about AEW. Let's go. Yes. Tis I, RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling. As always, I am your host. Why am I wearing shades at night? Because this light is bright as hell. Don't ask me. Because I know somebody's going to put that stupid shit. But anyway, AEW last night was in New Orleans, Louisiana, home of Ricky Starks. The Revolution is televised. Yes, and my man got a huge hometown welcome yesterday. Happy for that, brother. That was dope to see. And talk about AEW as a whole. So, AEW as a whole, good show. Great opener, great closer. Great opening, great closing. Only thing that I really was kind of meh about was the Marina Shafir match that kind of put the crowd to sleep. Not Marina's fault, but it is what it is. But we are going to run it down and talk about it real quick. And after watching Samoa Joe and Minoru Suzuki, my chest hurts. And I'm going to have chest pain for a year watching that match. Now, first things first, we had El Penta Oscuro, Cero Miedo versus Mr. Punk, CM Punk. This was great.
Perfect.
Hot opener for the crowd. Everybody went crazy. Shout out to New Orleans. They had a crazy crowd last night. That crowd was, crowd was hot. and lively. I love it. So basically, they started off chopping the holy hell out of each other. Chop City yesterday. It was just like, whoosh, whoosh, like everybody was just chopping each other. And I'm just sitting here like,
Nope.
you ain't chopping me like that. But it was back and forth in the beginning. Chop Fest, like I said, there came a point in the match after the picture-in-picture where Punk tried to do a top rope Hurricane Rana, but he slipped, and it looked like he was legit hurt. But they are professionals. They recovered. They redid the spot. Punk was fine. They worked the knee injury into the match, and the end came when Penta El Scudo tried to break his arm like he used to do in Lucha Underground. After he tried that, Punk reversed it into an Anaconda device. They went back and forth for some punches and some kicks. Then a springboard into the GTS ended the night for Mr. Penta or Scudo.
Perfect.
Great ending to the match. This match really, like, the last maybe half of it, it really picked up. Like, and I felt like they had, I know I'm saying like a lot.
You stupid.
And I felt like they had a lot left. Like, they could have did a couple of more things. But this match was great. This match was great. We had dueling chants. We had Cero Miedo chants. We had CM Punk chants in the beginning. Punk did hit that. Like I said, he did hit the Hurricane Rana. They definitely teased. Both of them teased power drivers. Power drivers on the apron, which would have sucked for either man. But nobody hit that. Good catch by CM Punk to get Penta up out of there. That was dope. Then we had the Jurassic Express versus Red Dragon. The only problem I had with this match is Red Dragon lost.
Nope.
And I'm shocked because you got Cole tomorrow with Hangman live Rampage. So I just knew that they were gonna have a title change, and the Super Elite was gonna have all the belts,
Surprise, motherfucker.
but they lost, which I ain't gonna lie, that really surprised me. I really didn't expect them to lose, but they lost, and they had a very good match. So I'm not gonna sit here and say the match was bad, because it wasn't. It just, they had a really good match. Luchasaurus got a hot tag early on. He came, did his whole thing, kicked everybody's ass, did a double choke slam, did a kip up. That was cool. And the end of the match came when I think they hit the Jurassic Express on Fish, which was cool. But Luchasaurus kipping up, and he no-sold a knee injury from early in the match, only to go back and sell it after a standing moonsault near fall. That was kind of noticeable. Jim Ross calling out the abundance of suicidas. Jim Ross, old school cat. But it is what it is. Jungle Boy, during the rope break, he barely got his foot on the rope. And it was like, they were talking about, it's a game of inches. So shout out to the commentary for that. This was a good back and forth match. I like the ending. Like I said, the Jurassic Express will never not be a cool looking move. But after that, FTR came out and they came out with all their Ring of Honor and AAA gold and started looking at Red Dragon. So Red Dragon looks weak going up against FTR. And I don't think they're going to beat FTR. But I will say that I'm all for an FTR Super Elite match. Sorry. Super Elite. I'm all for a Red Dragon versus FTR match. So hopefully they go for those Ring of Honor tag team titles. And The only thing that another thing that I'm finding strange about this show is that there are like titles all over the place, which is great because as long as people are defending these titles every couple of weeks, whatever, it's fine. You got Rampage to defend some titles. You have Dynamite to defend some titles, and then you have pay-per-views to defend titles. That's great. But the women's title is like taking a back seat to the women are taking a back seat, period, right now. And the women look like they were getting some momentum like a couple of months ago, but now they ain't getting much momentum. And this Marina Shafir stuff did not help. But next came the best thing on the show for me, besides the main event. Captain Sean Dean, thank you for your service, brother, versus MJF. So MJF came out earlier. He came out. He could not open his jacket. He played around. He then knocked Captain Dean. He knocked Captain Dean in the back of his head, teasing that he was joking all along. There's nothing wrong with his jacket. He hit him with a quick move into the turnbuckle and like flipped him over. Then it cut to the back where security guards were beat up, 3 of them. One was missing a shirt. Then we cut back. MJF is like, oh, hell no. He threw him into the turnbuckle, flipped him down. He went to the crowd. He said, yeah, guys, y'all love me. You guys love me. But unfortunately,
You've activated my trap card.
Wardlow was standing right behind him.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And MJF was like, oh, no, wait. Wardlow should have grabbed his ass immediately.
You stupid.
But he let him run, whatever. And literally, he ran through the ring, off the ring, ran all the way up the ring post. And then wave after wave of security guards came. And it was like,
Stop it. Get some help.
they just keep coming. Like, why? Why is there a million security guards? It was like, MJF was like, let's go. Keep them coming. There had to be like literally 25 to 30 guys that came out, and Wardlow was just pummeling all of them to the point where it got obnoxious and it was way too many guys. He couldn't fight them all off. But in the midst of this, the referee is counting to 10. He's counting. So he gets all the way to 7, 8. But he can't get past Wardlow and the 25 million security guards. So he's at 9. MJF runs up and says, listen, whoa, I don't know what Tony Khan is paying you, but I'll triple it if you just don't count to 10. And he counts to 10 anyway.
You stupid.
Do it.
Oh, that was funny.
Do it. Give me a hell yeah.
The,
Give me a hell yeah.
the crowd was going crazy for this. You will never see a crowd go crazy. You will never see a crowd go more crazy for a 10 count than this episode of Dynamite. This was fantastic. MJF, Wardlow got hit in the back with a chair, totally no-sold it, beat up Spears before 15 million security came out. They ushered him to the back. MJF later on in the show said, listen, I can contractually have Wardlow fight whoever I want, because after the match, MJF was in the ring and Wardlow said, I'm not going to stop. I'm here every week until you let me go on my contract. I'm not going to stop. Oh, man, that was hilarious. Man.
Respect my authority.
He was like, I'm not going to stop. So he's going to be fighting somebody next week, and that's how they're going to keep this story prolonged. This was hilarious. This is like wrestling, sports entertainment, balled into one. This was great. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Then we have a trios match. Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz versus the Jericho Appreciation Society. This was a basic trios match. Earlier on in the day, we saw that when the Jericho Appreciation Society got off their private jet, Santana and Ortiz said, it's on site. You feel me?
Respect my authority.
It's on site. And they took 2.0 shoes and beat them up and took their limo or whatever. They drove off. So during the match, Ortiz came out with the shoes around his neck, which was cool. That's some New York shit.
Stop it.
That's some New York shit. So they had themselves a good back and forth match. The end came when Eddie Kingston got hit in the back with Lucille, and that was all she wrote. He got pinned. So I'm not mad that they got pinned. You protected Eddie Kingston. I mean, anybody's gonna get pinned when they get hit in the head with a bat. So that was cool. Nothing wrong here. Kingston had a thump tank top on, paying homage to New Orleans legend and WWE Hall of Famer Junkyard Dog. I was not aware at the time, but once they announced it, it was cool. So I think that this feud has other levels to get to. I think Santana and Ortiz, when they finally get back into the AEW title picture, contention picture, they're going to be great. I think this gives them something to do for now, because there was a long stretch where we didn't even see them on TV, which was bullshit. So I'm glad that they got, matter of fact, let's hit the cap for that.
Stop the cap.
So I'm glad that now they're back on TV and they're doing something prominent. And I look forward to seeing what else they have next for Santana and Ortiz. And shout out to Eddie Kingston as well. Next, we had Marina Shafir versus Sky Blue. The only thing you need to know is that this was a squash match. The crowd sat on their hands for this. This went about 3 minutes, 4 minutes. The crowd sat on pins and needles watching this shit. They didn't want to make no noise. They didn't care about Marina Shafir. Blue Sky couldn't even get a goddamn... Blue Sky couldn't even get no love. So, I don't know what they're going to do, but when Marina Shafir fights Jade, the crowd is not going to make... They're not going to make any noise for this match. Hopefully, they bring in Ember Moon to beat her for the TBS title, and they sign Ember Moon. I hope so, because that would be fucking awesome if they did. Sign Athena, goddammit. Just do it. Sign Athena.
Stop it. Get some help.
Surprise, motherfucker.
That would be great. Now, we had Keith Lee and Swerve versus the hometown boy Ricky Starks. The Revolution is televised, and Powerhouse Hobbs. This was great. Stand out in this match. Definitely Powerhouse Hobbs. He beats Keith Lee with a spine buster. Wait, hold on. First of all, I forgot about this. Red Velvet was in the baddie section.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Why was Red Velvet in the baddie section? Her and Jade have hated each other and they have feuded twice.
Stop it. Get some help.
I just thought that didn't make any sense. Moving on. So Keith Lee, the end came here with Powerhouse Hobbs hit Keith Lee with a spine buster for the win. Listen, a spine buster is normally a setup move. We've seen Triple H, Bobby Roode, The Rock. We've seen hundreds of people do spine busters. Batista. But when somebody big like Powerhouse Hobbs does a spine buster, I am okay with it being a finishing move, because Powerhouse Hobbs has a very, very gorgeous looking spine buster. And Swerve hit a moonsault off of Keith Lee's chest onto Starks and Powerhouse. This was a great match. I don't care what anybody says. This match was great. I loved it. I think Team Taz needed a win because they were getting their ass kicked and they were losing way too much. So the fact that now they got this win, that's great for them. They desperately needed this win. Good for Ricky Starks. He gets a win in his hometown. Good for Powerhouse Hobbs. He looks dominant. Now they're 1-1 in head-to-heads, basically. So I'm looking forward to the trilogy, and I'm sure Keith Lee and Powerhouse Hobbs is going to be one hell of a match when they do decide to make it. Your main event of the evening, your Ring of Honor World TV Championship, Minoru Suzuki versus Samoa Joe. Too bad mother you know what. Now listen, first things first. If you value your chest, don't watch this match. These guys' chests and hands were red within 30 seconds.
How, Sway?
You take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
I don't have the answer. I think Brian Alvarez, Wrestling Observer Live, shout out to him. I think he said it was something like 104 chops in this match. Holy shit.
The lie detector determined.
That was the goddamn truth because they chopped the hell out of each other. Jesus Christ. It was, oh, like, I'm all for it, man. These guys absolutely killed each other. The only thing I remember in this match were the 100 and something chops and the muscle buster. Oh, and Minoru Suzuki hit a drop kick. That's all I remember from this match. That's it. Chops, drop kick, muscle buster. That's it. That's it. That's all I remember. This match was brutal. The crowd was going crazy for this level of brutality and violence. I loved it. I actually rewinded the match to rewatch some of those chops. They were no selling the chops, then they started selling the chops. This is like two guys who just said, listen, man, let's just go out there and fuck each other's chests up. Why not? Why not? Who cares? Like, I don't know, man. This was great. That's all I know is this was great. Minoru Suzuki got hit with the muscle buster, and that was all she wrote. Now, that should have ended this show, and this show would have been A++. But then they had, what the fuck is this guy's name? I don't even remember his name. But all I know is Jay Lethal came out with this other guy, and Santam Singh came out. The crowd didn't like the beatdown. Like, it got heat from the crowd, but it was the wrong type of heat. It got go-away heat from the crowd. It got go-away heat from the people that were watching, because people, even at home, went on Twitter and shit on this. Singh was a basketball player. He was a former basketball player. Now he's a wrestler. They signed him last year, so he's been on the roster for a year. He's been working out. He's been training. But he's 7'2", and he's light as a feather, stiff as a board. Like the fucking, tip of the goddamn tongue. I'm dating myself. Like the Craft. Like, it's like he's stiff as hell, and it's like, ugh. And then he put the vice grips on Samoa Joe, Great Khali style, and it's like, come on, man, Great Khali 2.0, we don't want to see this shit. Like, get off of my TV with this shit.
Do it!
Stop it. Get some help.
Get the fuck out of here!
Respectfully, we don't want to see this shit. I don't see, like, yeah, maybe they could build them up. I mean, yeah, they could, but it's like big giants that are stiff as hell like that. I don't know, man. This was a very, then Jay Lethal ended up giving him the finger through that surprise box that he was supposed to get. So, this whole thing, and then they beat down Samoa Joe. That's how they went off the air. The crowd hated it. This was a dud. This sucked. But it's okay. AEW is not above criticism. This was not good. This was very WWE of AEW, because this is some shit WWE would do. This shit should have ended with Joe beating Suzuki and going off the air. That's it. Tony Khan said we have an overrun. We have this. They only went about 2-3 minutes over 10 o'clock. So they really didn't need the overrun. But it's okay. It's good that they acknowledged it. But this is, they need to do better. I don't know about this Singh guy. And I know he's tall as hell, and I know they like their monsters, but I don't know about him. I don't know.
You activated my trap card!
Not feeling that at all. But otherwise, this was your AEW Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. This was a very, very good show with a dud in the middle and a dud at the end. But other than that, this show was good. Very, very good TV show. Very, very good TV show. So with that being said, I'm putting this up right now, and That's it. Calling it. I am out. Here are my socials. Look at them again. Read them and weep. Everybody be safe. Enjoy yourself because this brother is out. Peace.